Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Masterclass Episode 20. This is a show where we play, we strategize, and we explore the world of Hearthstone. And with me, as always, is my co-host, Tarn. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. We've got a little bit of Hearthstone news, but otherwise I think we got a great core show lined up for tonight.
Absolutely. And if you haven't heard by now, please get out from the rock you're underneath and go take a look at Reddit. Blizzard has unleashed the nerfs. They have decided that they are going to modify the Hunter just a little bit. Not a lot. Just this is the smallest balance change Blizzard has ever done in Hearthstone. The community was crying for it. I certainly shed a few tears for it, and they've done it. But that's Hearthstone talk, and really, I think we shouldn't go any further into that until we warm it up. How do you feel about that, Tarn?
I think that sounds great. I think we shall warm it up. I'm warming up my Hearthstone right now. It was super, super cold, so
yeah,
we're totally warming up. All right, pulling up a chair at the hearth, and yeah, here we go.
Fantastic. And this week we're also going to be doing some cooperative laddering. So yeah, it should be a fun show.
I'm looking forward. All right. There we go.
Here we go.
Alright, we'll see how this works.
Yeah.
It's had a couple of wins. Was trying out some shenanigans earlier. I'm looking earlier on in the ranked. I should have guessed.
Oh yeah.
I should have guessed.
Oh yeah, it's happening. It's happening.
That's totally not
I think
cool.
your volume might have cut out for just a quick second there, but sorry about that if it happened.
It's all right.
Hello.
This is a fun deck in that I put it together in all of 15 seconds. So I glanced at a deck, I glanced at a hero, and I ran through and picked the first 30 cards I could think of.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's exactly what you did.
That is exactly what I did. That is 100% what I did. What shall we do?
Oh, you didn't pick any low-cost cards, did you?
There's some irony to that statement.
Sure there is. Hunger. We hunger. Secrets.
Yeah.
Oh
They came out. Secrets came out.
It's got to be vaporized, right?
Definitely vaporized.
Oh, no. It's got to be counterspell.
Definitely not
There
counterspell.
Oh,
it might
what
be
are you
counterspell.
countering?
It might be counterspell. It might have been counterspell.
It's all right. I knew it had to be. Gotta get a spell out there somehow.
Just like you.
Unacceptable. Oh, you picked all the secrets. All right.
I picked a couple. I picked a couple.
My shield for Argon.
Mirror entity. This deck feels kind of like a deck I've been seeing on the ladder a little bit, but you know, we'll see.
I can promise you it's not. I can make you that promise.
That's why I said feels a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't give you that much credit.
No, you should be giving me that much credit is what you should be doing. All right.
That split, I like it.
Let the pain speak to me. Into the bridge.
Oh my god. A couple, huh?
Into the
Just a couple?
That's how we do, man. You know these warm-ups, they gotta just go full on in one direction. You know, you just gotta go big or go home.
Go big or go home.
By the way, you can hit my Acolyte and then heal it. That is a valid play.
We must cleanse
I know.
well.
Oh, now you can't.
Really? Are you sure?
That's not possible now.
I tried. I tried. Oh, he just died.
I know, that's
I
weird.
thought he liked the pain. I was trying to bring the pain, but you know, I guess he didn't like it.
Into the breach.
I'm running out of steam here. I'm definitely running out of steam.
Alright, let's get this vaporized over with. Oh! Maybe not. Alright.
What could it be? What could it be?
Alright, I haven't thrown any spells around yet.
The light protects.
I don't know what to think about you playing mage. I kind of feel, I don't know. I don't know what to feel.
I don't know what to feel either.
Oh my god. This is a hodgepodge.
Yeah, this is
stuff.
literally
I love it.
this is a throw together deck is what this is. So I didn't have time to get a good warm up deck together, but I refuse to play a ladder deck.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah,
That's how it's supposed to be. Sometimes the party just gets crashed, you know?
it does.
You know how many pirate parties you ruined? Oh my
Sometimes the
God.
party does get crashed.
Yeah. That's not right. I'm afraid of this being a spellbender. Could be a spell.
I love it.
Could be a spellbender. I think
love
it
it.
might.
I love it. Tarn, only you play spellbenders. No other human being on Earth plays spellbenders. Come on.
No, it's a spellbender.
No,
You
no,
tell me.
nobody plays spellbenders, Tarn.
Everybody plays spellbenders.
Nobody plays spellbenders. That's a crap card. Nobody.
Oh,
plays
look at it! Oh, it's a counter spell. Okay, this is good. Just as good.
Not a spellbender though. Nobody plays it.
Spellbender.
Nobody plays these spellbenders.
Spellbender is amazing. Are you kidding me? Spellbender.
Do you get the card if you cast Power Word Shield? You don't get the card, right?
No, but you would get the buff.
Okay.
I would get the card. Right, Yeti. Uh-oh. Is that a fireball? Please don't be a fireball. Oh. Oh, Ice Lance. Okay, that's better.
I fight.
Got a little present for you coming up.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez. What you got for me? Who you want me to kill? Oh, we got the prophet. We got the prophet.
Profit. You know,
That's going to end the game.
not all who wander are lost. Alright, my last minion just has to make an appearance. Oh, that damage, I love it.
Alright, I'll let him make an appearance in good faith.
Sweet.
Well played, sir.
It's worth it. It's worth it for him to make an appearance.
Nice. Well played,
Okay.
sir.
I didn't have the... I wish I had the smite. The holy smite would have been nice.
Yeah. Well played, well played. So that was my throw together mage deck.
That was good. I liked it. I liked it. It had the... it just needed a little bit of spellbender action, that's all.
Yeah, it needed a spellbender. Unfortunately, nobody plays that card. So, everybody, as you can see here, we did a little medalist warm-up, and we're going to move into our next segment, Unleash the Balanced Team. And if any of you have had a chance to go onto Reddit in the last couple days, you will have noticed that Unleash the Hounds is now a 3-cost up from 2. 1,548 comments so far, 2,784 upvotes, probably many more. I wonder how many downvotes it's got. Let's just take a look. 3,500 downvotes. What is wrong with Reddit? It's so ridiculous. All right. 3,500 downvotes, 6,200 upvotes. All right. Anyway, so Zariah, community manager, wonderful human being I met at the iPad release, posted on the forums that the following balance change will be made in an upcoming patch. I've already told you what it is. That's it. And Blizzard hasn't done anything like this. So, Tarn, what are your thoughts on that? That Blizzard nerfed one card, 1 mana. That's kind of amazing, but also very weird.
It is, but their quote-unquote buff, well, not quote-unquote, their buff to Unleash the Hounds to begin with was really to get people to start using the card. Their latest buff. Their latest buff, Unleash the Hounds, has had its same ability now in 3 different iterations. Their latest buff took it from 4 mana to 2 mana, which a lot of people, including myself, felt that was a little bit too extreme, that it should have been just from 4 to 3 mana from the get-go.
Some people felt it should stay at 4, that they just wasn't getting explored at the time.
Yeah, and in fact, I think it really kind of just wasn't. And so now that Hunter has been so popular for so long, they're going back and kind of revisiting it. A little bit ironically, in my opinion, kind of when this new mid-range Hunter is kind of hitting its peak of popularity. I don't think the change is really going to affect too much there, but it is going to give a little bit more breathing room for players trying to play against the aggro Hunter. And even in this mid-range thing, you don't have to worry about a turn 4 Buzzard with Unleash the Hounds unless it's also paired with a coin. So you have a little bit more early game breathing room to play out your minions, and I think that's what Blizzard's aiming for here, and I like it. I agree.
I totally agree. I think it's really interesting. They said a few times that when they make changes, they don't want to do it too small. They don't want to make a small change that nothing actually gets modified. So going from 4 to 2 makes sense from that thinking. And then, as you've seen in the last month, every single tournament played a Hunter deck. Every player played at least one Hunter deck. It was rare to see someone who didn't. There was one person at like IEM or Seat Story that didn't play a Hunter, and kudos to you. I wish I knew your name or remembered it. I played a Shaman and 2 other decks, and big props for taking second place in that without using a Hunter deck. But I think we've just seen way too many Hunters, and it's a little stale how many Hunters we've seen. So I think it's a great class. I'm happy that it gets played, but nobody wants to see Hunter versus Hunter as like 80% of the matchups. It's just not that interesting. And then Hunter versus everything else. There's so much wonder and variety in the game, and I think it was kind of shutting down a bunch of classes. So I'm happy to see it nerfed, even if just a little bit. And hopefully this will give some breathing room to the other classes.
Yeah, and its buff in its current state, the 2 mana cost, did accomplish what Blizzard wanted. It got people playing the card. And realizing that you can use the card for various options. You can play it in a very aggressive deck. You can play it in a more mid-rangey deck. You can even extend that to try to play a little bit more control-y. Although on the ladder and high rank, you're really just seeing that mid-range or aggression. But you can extend it and play it further. However, its 2 mana cost in all of its cases has been a bit extreme. So they're just dialing back just a little bit on that end.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a good thing ultimately, and like I said, I'm happy that they made the change. There's another. I wanted to kind of just quickly grab the deck that it's going to affect the most. This is an aggro deck here, and as you can see, Hunter's Mark, Arcane Shot, Abusive Sergeant, Elven Archer, Leper Gnome, Timberwolf. This is all aggression with some traps. And then the Eaglehorn Bow. So this deck in particular is going to get modified. It's going to get, nerfed, if you will. And, I think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth mentioning. So, like you said, turn 4, you're not going to be able to... You can unleash at 3 mana, but you can only then play a 1-drop. You can't play the Buzzard. You can't play a Trap. You can't play the Bluegill. You can play a Leper Gnome. You can play a Timberwolf, which is even fine, buffing up those Hounds. But ultimately, it also, on later turns, prevent you from playing other single mana extras, which make a big difference on that unleashed turn.
Oh, absolutely. It just kind of pushes everything back 1 mana, which in a huge aggression deck like this one is a real big deal. It gives you instead of 5 mana for an Unleash the Hounds and Kill Command, it's now 6 mana to do Unleash the Hounds Kill Command. Instead of
Yep.
5 mana to do Animal Companion with it, it's 6 mana. Instead of 4 mana to do it with Starving Buzzard, it's 5 mana. So all those little, it just kind of pushes everything back one turn. Because most of the combos do revolve around Unleash the Hounds.
And if you think about it, if you have on turn 4, 3 to 4 minions on the board, maybe 2 to 3 minions on the board, with, let's say, an average of 2 attack, that's an additional 6 to 8 damage you're getting on the hunter's face before he can clear them, not even do damage to you.
Right. And, he still could... if need be, it does, on turn 4, still allow the option of playing Unleash the Hounds with a Timberwolf.
Yep.
But it doesn't allow the option of doing Buzzard, Unleash the Hounds, and Timberwolf, all on turn 4.
Yeah.
So it would make, for some more decision making, some more dynamic play, and I think that's what Blizzard's really looking for.
Yeah, I did see a lot of turn 4 Buzzard Unleash where they're just using the Unleashed Hounds to clear your board, and they're using and let's say maybe a Hunter's Mark, and then they're using the Buzzard to get the card draw, 3 to 4 cards, to be able to do that again. So now you're preventing them from doing that for the next turn. That's important.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it gives you that extra turn. Like you said, if you had several minions on board, that's when you would want to start looking for, to trade off some of your minions so you don't leave a bunch of minions on later on for that Unleash the Hounds. But you have one more turn to play around with some early minions, get some early aggression in of your own, and then dial it back appropriately when you see fit.
Yeah. I mean, I personally have come to terms with the Hunter. My Shaman deck, which is its weakest matchup, and it's the deck I play the most, does fairly well. I'd say 50% in and around that range, depending on the type of Hunter. And I tend to do better versus the late game Hunter, the mid-range Savannah High Main Hunter. Still a very hard deck. The Arcane Golem version is really difficult to deal with as a Shaman, but ultimately I've come to terms and doing decently versus it. So if a Shaman is doing decently versus it, even though it's sort of high-level play with a deck that knows how to deal with it, I imagine the other decks have adapted too. So there's been some adaptation. People have come to terms, but now they're just kind of making it slightly weaker, hopefully allowing, like you said, some breathing room.
Absolutely. And, this could also be a small tip-off to what they're planning to do in Curse of Naxxramas with Hunter. There could be more potential combo cards coming out there, and they were just saying, hey, with the cards that we want to put out that are new, fresh cards, this is just way too ridiculous. We need to dial it back a little bit and expand the options rather than have everything focused around Unleash the Hounds. So, new cards coming out soon, so there's no need to get too upset about old cards. We'll see fresh cards, and this will allow Blizzard to have more options with what to do with the new cards.
Yeah, you bring up a great point. Curse of Naxxramas, a lot of the minions, or almost all the minions, will center around death rattle or death style mechanics. And if you think of a Hunter, he does a lot of killing, and he does a lot of killing of his own minions, sacrificing those minions. So if you had a spell that gave all your minions a death rattle, and you played that after you unleashed, and then you killed all those hounds with that death rattle, and you had the mana to do it all on an earlier turn, wow, that's scary. So it's a good thing that they're taking that into account if they are.
Exactly, and that could have been the deciding factor for them to make this decision. We don't know, but it's safe to say that it was a factor in the decision, one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree. Fantastic. Oh, do you have any other thoughts before we move on to the next segment?
No, I think we pretty well covered it. I mean, it's minor. A lot of people are reacting like it's the end of the world, but it isn't. I think especially for these mid-range hunters, you pretty much can... you'll be okay. A lot of these mid-range hunters are playing Unleash the Hounds on much later turns anyway. Of course, given some circumstances, they are still playing the turn 4 Buzzard with Unleash the Hounds. But, that just gets pushed back one turn, and you might have to make some modifications accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, our next segment is an oldie but goodie, Cooperative Laddering. And we're going to take a look at my Tempo Shaman. This is a deck that I've been playing the last week or two, and it's gotten me from rank 15 to I don't know, roughly rank 6, give or take. So we're going to be playing this deck. There are 2 versions of it. This is the Tempo Shaman. It's similar to one you've seen on Reddit or in other places. I do have an Ooze in there, as well as a Forked Lightning. The Ooze is great versus Rogue, which I see a ton of, and the weapon-based Hunter. Also good versus other classes like the Warrior. And the Forked Lightning is really there to deal with aggression, and it does it so well. And that's why you have a Blood Mage in there, and 2 Drakes, and then the gadget's in for the card draw, and you don't see a Mana Tide. I'm getting card draw through the Blood Mage, which combos well with my removal, and the Drakes comboing well with removal, and then gadgets in with combos with all these small spells. The other version of this deck is a Tempo Shaman with Harrison. I've put in Harrison and removed the excuse me, the Argent Commander. It's kind of the best card I could think to take out. I don't like taking it out, but when you're playing against, I was playing against like 80% rogues, and you just need some extra weapon removal. So that's what I did there.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely like the look of the deck. It's got a great early game toolkit for defense against aggression, and then it just really seems to scale pretty nice. You know, you've got early game into getting defender up on some leftover minions, whether they're totems or you know, like your blood mage or something, and that just ramps really nice into your core, your fire elementals, and I think the name Tempo Shaman just really suits well. I think it's just made to kind of control the tempo of the game all the way through until you finally get the finish.
Absolutely. And I've just given you a link here to Tarn, to my...
Okay, I've got it.
Great.
You won't see that in the final edit?
hopefully we will.
Well, that's fine, Good.
So be good, for goodness sake. Whoa, somebody's coming. All right. So we've talked a little bit last week about how to mulligan with Shaman. That's going to come into play here. And of course, we've got a Golden Hunter.
Oh.
Look at this.
Someone played a lot of aggression.
Yeah. Now, the best thing you can do versus a Hunter is race them in a smart way. So Flame Tongue's good. Lightning Bolt's good removal. Feral's really good. So we're going to get rid of the Blood Mage. And we're going to go.
I like it. I like that.
Another Flame Tongue. It might be more racing than we want, but that's fine. So we're getting an immediate charge. This lends me to believe this is a full-out aggressive Hunter.
I see that board a lot in the mid-range lately, so don't
Sure,
be too quick to judge.
But does he get played early as a sort of a starter? Maybe.
I have been seeing it. It depends. I've been seeing it if the Hunter doesn't have any options, so he might have something like tracking or something coming up. He may not have a very viable turn 2.
So I'm probably going to Rock Biter to stop the damage, and then next turn I'm going to coin directly into the Feral. Because I don't want to use the Lightning Bolt to that would overload me.
Right. No, I like it. One extra point of damage here is not too bad.
Yeah, and ultimately you need to stop the damage. I only have 1 Earthen Ring Farseer in this deck. Okay, that's good turn 2. That's pretty standard. So he was hoping that I wasn't going to clear it. Now, I have an Ooze. If this is the Savannah High main, there is no weapon in that deck as a standard deck. So we'll have to see, but you never know. Especially with a gold Hunter, he might think he knows different.
I think he just plays a lot. I think he just plays a lot of Hunter.
Leper Gnome.
Okay, so we are seeing some aggression, most likely.
So this most likely means there's also traps. And if there are traps, it also most likely means there's the weapon. So the Swamp Ooze is good. Mm-hmm. Since we're at we're locked in at 1 mana, I may as well kill this with a Lightning Bolt and then go to face and then bring out the Flame Tongue next turn. What do you think?
Yeah, and that'll absolutely. And that'll also save your wolves if he plays an explosive trap from dying to that.
Yeah, which he will probably. From what we've seen so far, it would be likely that there are going to be explosive traps coming. What are the traps that the Aggro Hunter plays? It's mostly explosive, and I don't see a lot of...
Misdirection if they
Yeah.
work it in.
I usually see more freezing traps.
Yeah, I've seen both. I see... oh, he got a Misha. That's actually really nice for him.
Okay, so we have two options here. We can use the Flame Tongue to clear the Misha, and then clear the Leper, or we can just Hex the Misha. This is feeling like there's not going to be a Savannah in there, so I'm leaning towards the Hex. What do you think?
Yeah, it is leaning towards that he's playing aggression, and
Would you Hex? I would Hex usually.
yeah, I would probably Hex then.
Oh shit. That was a mistake. Somehow I just kind of glitched out there.
Oh, I just saw that. Oh no.
Well, now we're just effed.
Yeah, that's brutal. Now I probably just would not attack.
Yeah. Okay, so you actually... this is actually rare to happen, but it's something important. When you're playing a deck like Hunter, you cannot make mistakes like this. This is a kind of mistake that will absolutely end the game. Both of these minions would have been cleared. A whole new game would have happened. So that's probably a loss or an auto loss right there, I would say. And sorry that got streamed, but it happens. So it's good to understand the impact and implication of it.
Yeah, and he's definitely playing full with the inclusion of Abusive Sergeant.
Yeah.
But fortunately, I mean, all might not be lost. I think here you probably do need to get rid of the Misha.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm thinking
just maybe-
Flame Tongue Totem is the best bet here.
yeah.
The other option is check out what totem I get, and if I don't like it, which actually I do like it, then I could have Hexed, but this is a good totem for us. Let's take this as a learning opportunity. So what did not attacking do? It forced his Misha to clear our minions, giving us a little less protection, but it didn't force us, it didn't do any damage to us immediately.
Right. If we attacked, yeah, I mean, it forced him to clear, and there was the possibility that he wasn't going to have something like an Abusive Sergeant, and he wouldn't have been able to clear two wolves.
Yeah.
In this case, he was able to clear both.
So here we have an option to heal ourselves up and even actually play like a Flame Tongue to allow one Flame Tongue to kill the other Abusive. But, you know, other options would be just going down with a Drake. I kind of feel like I definitely made a mistake, and I'm kind of more than happy to just sort of do what I think is best, but ultimately know that this is kind of a effed up situation.
Right. Okay, he's got a secret out. He
Yeah.
is down to 2 cards, but we are down to 14 health, so healing up and clearing with the Flame Tongue is probably the best option, and we're just going to kind of hope that he doesn't have an Unleash the Hounds combo.
Yeah, and I think where we want this is... It doesn't matter, right? Because it's going to die. Yeah, it won't matter. Wow. Well, yeah, so from this point out, knowing that secret is probably not... It could be a misdirect, it could be freezing, but it's probably more likely than not the 2 damage trap, the explosive trap.
Right.
We haven't seen a weapon out, which is really odd. He must just have not drawn it, because he's got the traps, and you don't run a hunter with traps without a weapon.
Right, right.
So I feel like I should misdirect, meaning I should send my weaker totem in.
Absolutely, yeah. If it's misdirect, you always want to test with the small one. Most likely is going to be 2 damage to all.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's misdirect, so... Best case scenario is it hits your other Flame Tongue. Worst case scenario is it hits you in the face.
Yep. I feel like Drake, but, you know, I'm going to get Unleashed. At 13, I'm probably going to die, but I feel like Drake's the best option here.
Yeah, we might as well go for it. And just see if we can maybe get a burst down on him. And that could be possible with that draw.
Would you put out a totem here? Probably not.
No, I mean, at this point, we'd just be praying for the taunt.
Yeah. And it's unlikely.
Although, I mean, it is almost at the point of you might as well.
All right, well...
Just because there's already... Oh, look at
Leok
him.
and the secret. And since he played a misdirect, this is probably misdirect or freezing. It's probably, well, it could still be explosive, but
Is he hitting your Drake? It looks like he's targeting your Drake, which
Yeah.
means. Oh wait, did he change the target?
he hasn't decided yet.
Okay. If he hits your Drake, that's probably a big tell that it's explosive trap.
So he's going for my face.
Okay.
So
So that's also a decent tell that it's explosive trap.
yeah. So that means that the only thing that's going to die is the Flame Tongue. So I'm of the opinion that I'm going to run the Flame Tongue into the Leok since it'll die anyway. Then I'm going to bring the Fire Elemental down to finish off the Leok after I've attacked face.
Yeah, we'll see what it goes. We might want to do something like hexing one of our own minions after we attack.
Maybe. Let's give it a go. Hold on.
Oh, you went straight to the Leok. Oh no,
Yeah.
no.
Oh, why not?
Oh, you need to test the trap there.
Oh, but if it's explosive, then that thing dies. That's the
It does
problem.
die, but then that's the only thing that does die.
I got you. Okay. So in that case, now we're gonna have to just go with the smaller minion of the two. Let's see what happens. Misdirect. So now we could get really effed. Oh, we go for the Leok. Got lucky.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
I'm gonna bring down the fire. And since he's got one card, I kind of feel like a totem's not bad here.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
We're pretty much, we've already like.
We did get the one that helps you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I was going to say totem really doesn't help you.
Well, it'll
but
heal up the 5-1 to a 5-2, making it harder to kill.
That is true.
Okay, so we've gotten both misdirects, so this is probably freezing or explosive. It's very
It's going to
unlikely.
be explosive.
Yeah.
Absolutely. He's been playing aggression.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do here is we can't quite buff up. Shoot, we're using the defender would be one away from buffing up the Earthen Ring. But what we can do is buff up the Stoneclaw totem and the Fire Elemental.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have him here. It's got to be explosive. I would still attack with your weakest minion just in case he's playing. He concedes. All right.
well, we didn't deserve that win, but we got it. All right. I don't think we need to analyze that. That was pretty straightforward. Do not misclick when you're playing against the hunter, especially at rank 5 or 6. It's not a good idea. And somehow we still won, which I guess this deck is fairly decent versus hunter. So
yeah, you know, it's we still had some good cards to work with, and obviously we got a little bit lucky that he didn't have his unleashes, he didn't have his weapons.
is this the same guy?
I don't know. You might
it's
want
a
to check.
Golden Hunter.
It probably is.
It says
It is the same. All right, so definitely a rematch.
Okay, well, we don't want the Alakir, the Lightning, or the Argent. You might think, as a Shaman player, you want board clear like the Lightning Storm, but you don't. You don't want that till at least turn 4, 5, or 6. So you really want to find your ferals, your weapons, and such. It's funny, our mistake wasn't a mistake he would see. He didn't know about the hex. We never played them. So he thinks he just lost. He doesn't he's not
Yeah.
like so that's just something to keep in mind. Okay.
Absolutely.
So here's a thought. The Argent will trade versus this abusive, and then that next turn lets us bring out the Feral. I really like that play. That's most likely what I would do. You can Storm Forge here, but you generally don't want to take it to the face, and I'm going to take the 2 no matter what, but then it delays me playing the Feral out. So
Yeah, no, absolutely. I would go with the Argent here for sure.
I just wanted to make that clear to people that against the Hunter, when you don't want to take any damage to the face, Stormforge is really not a good card. You only want to hit the Hunter with that card. All right, so what's really good about this play, though, is if we had the option to play the Feral on turn 3, our turn 4 would allow the Flame Tongues, which we don't have, but still, I think the Ferals are good here.
Yeah, no, they're still they're really good. I mean, Unleash the Hounds this early is not going to hurt you with those spells up.
And we're pre-nerf here, guys, so they can unleash on turn 4 with the buzzard. Okay, we got the weapon. Unfortunately, we don't have the ooze at this point. One mana, nothing to play unless we get an Argent. We do get a Rock Biter. I mean, we could use it for mana efficiency.
I fight.
I kind of want to keep it, but...
Yeah, I would go ahead and keep it. It would be great, like, if he plays an Animal Companion and gets Nisha, you could clear out with the Argent.
Yeah, that's a really good use of it. So there's your secret, and we know these are misdirects or explosive traps.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Defender does not help us here, because it will not buff the Argent out of death range, but it will help a totem next turn. So I think the play is attack with the Squire, then drop the Flame Tongue, attack with the Spirit Wolf, and drop a totem.
Yeah, I mean, definitely attack with the Squire first, just to make sure. Most likely it's 2 damage to everything.
So,
Yep.
now let's see what totem we get here, because that's gonna. I think we're gonna want to play the Flame Tongue anyway. But what you can. The great thing about Defender, as we've talked about, it makes totems that would normally die or have no attack that are useless useful. So yeah, I'm okay with playing the Flame Tongue here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, especially since we've already played the totem. The only consideration I might have considered is just playing the Flame Tongue without another totem.
Yeah.
Just because your wolf is sitting at 1 health, so one Hound will peg it off.
But I'm gonna be able to buff that up with the Defender.
Oh, Arcane Shot.
Ooh, he got the pig. He got the Huffer.
Oh, they always get the pig.
Yep.
Huffer's a guarantee.
I know. And he got a Leper Gnome. So what would be really amazing is if I got, which I did not get, was an Earth Shock. So these minions have to die, and I feel like I'm feeling like this might be a stormable board.
Yeah, I mean, as much as we'd like to play Fire Elemental next turn, it's not really necessary. He's running low on cards, and I think, I think Storming is just.
So the question is,
it's guaranteed kill.
I'm gonna have 6 next turn. That means I'll have 4 if I Storm. So I probably do not want to Storm Forge. I probably want to bring out another totem that I will then Defender up.
Absolutely.
And normally you play the totem first, but it wasn't an issue here because I'm not.
They were
gonna
both 2 or they were
Yeah.
both 2 or below. Yeah.
Exactly. So, Defender next turn's fine. It'll slow down the damage. And he knows I'm playing Defender of Argus's because he just played against it, but I don't think a Hunter is able to go to hit them. They always want to clear. They always want to go for face. As is evidenced here. So I'm getting really, really low. Arcane Shot. He's at 1 card left. He's got me down to, what, 6 health? This is, like, really clutch. So, I definitely Defender up here and probably use the Wrath of Air totem to get rid of the Wolf Rider.
Yeah, I think that's
I'm gonna need to bring down Alakir really soon, not just for damage, but also to prevent him from hitting me. So on turn 8, I might have to play him, even though on turn 9 he'd get a lot more damage with the Rock Biters, because I'm almost dead basically is the thing.
Yeah, he's getting you in range of just being able to sit back and peg you until he hits you with a.
So the Stormforge will lock me out of the Overload next turn to play Alakir. So I'm thinking Defender of Argus. The other option would be Fire Elemental, but I think Defender's safer.
Yeah, I'd go with Defender, and then I might even also go with Rockbiter and just pour on the damage because we know we're going to want to play Alakir next turn.
Let's think about this. Alakir 6. I'll have 3. So 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If anything survives, I can win. Yeah. So you know what? Yeah, you're right. We can't do the Stormforge. Okay, let's do it. So effectively, I need a 3-attack minion to survive, which is very unlikely, considering the board.
It's not too bad.
I mean, the first 2 things he's going to get rid of are the things with taunt. That's the problem.
Right.
So then there goes 1. There goes a secret. And if that's all he plays, I win.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
we win.
Probably a misdirect. Oh, it's a win no matter what
Yep.
secret it is.
Yep.
As long as we test it with the small guy first.
Yep. GG. Ha!
Right.
Wow.
It's like swatting insects.
It is like swatting insects. Golden Hunter down. And you know what? I feel like this guy, thank you, is really wanting to get in as much Hunter as he can, because this aggressive Hunter is going to be no more in a few days, or maybe a few weeks.
Yeah, probably come Tuesday time. Once they announce a patch usually comes quick, so
Yep.
we probably have a week left.
Yep. Pushing towards rank 5 and maybe going towards Legendary this season. We'll see how it goes. It's very early in the season.
What time is it?
6:30.
Ooh.
We could call it.
We could do one more
Okay.
if you want.
He gonna do one.
You can do one. Once it hits your lips, so good.
Hits
so
your
good.
He gonna do one. All right. Here we go. All right. Well, this will be the last segment of the show, and we'll do a quick wrap up after this. So, yeah, thank you guys for coming out and watching the show this week. And to all of you who play Hunter, good luck with the nerf. To all of you who don't, enjoy your ladder experience. We got a rogue.
That was unbiased as possible right there.
I know. So versus rogue, I'm finding mostly I'm playing the Miracle Rogue, and they also have Van Cleef. So I tend to keep a Hex. And actually, I also tend to keep a Lightning Storm. But in this scenario, I might not keep both. So I might keep the Hex and get rid of the Storm. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I would probably keep one or the other. Keeping them both is a little much.
They're not usually bringing out... I don't see any scrubs. I don't see a lot of small stuff. The Lightning Bolt can usually deal with it. I kind of feel like the Hex is the better play because the Lightning Storm does not deal with Van Cleef.
That is true, and yes, I'm seeing a lot less scrubs. You definitely do see, of course, SI Agent, which Lightning Bolt deals with.
Yep. We got our turn 1 Argent. I get a lot of turn 1 Argents. Having 2 in the deck is really awesome. I don't recommend having 1.
Yeah, Argent's kind of one of those cards. If you're going to play it, you got to have them both, and you got to hope for them early.
And you know, it's a great card with Shaman because so many things buff it. So it really does a lot of work.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree more there. It's a really good card. Yeah, especially any minion-based deck.
So I have one.
Great.
Yeah, I have one ooze in this deck, which is really important for dealing with a scary weapon like the 3/4 or the 3/5. I forget what it is. I found that the other thing you want to deal with Shaman is you want to generally have a spell power totem so that when he plays and conceals his gadgets in, you can play your Blood Mage and your Storm. So that's something important to think about. And if you don't have it, you only have 1 spell power, you're rolling 50-50, and you generally have to make the roll. Because the whole deck circles around gadgets in. By the way, I've also found with Rogue, sometimes you can keep the coin, just depending on the situation, and bring out a gadget in and use a coin and then like a spell.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really like the Earthen Ring here, but it's not a Hunter, so I'd rather play that than nothing. It's either that or totem.
I mean, the only other option would be to hope that we got lucky with the totem again. We got lucky and we burned half of his deadly poison already with one.
Yeah.
It's close.
You know what? I might go with the totem here. He's not put on any aggression yet. I think it's okay to go with the totem here.
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd rather him either finish off the Argent. He's proven that he's playing that defensive.
Yeah. And we want to make sure he uses the poison on something that is less effective, not the Earthen Ring. So there it is. So now he's going to have to use a spell, which is great, because it's a full card instead of half a card. We like that. Still no damage, but we got the Storm. So we have a good way of dealing with the Gadget's Inn that's concealed. So, honestly, like, I feel like next turn we can Fire Elemental. So I think it doesn't make sense to do anything but either Totem or Earthen Ring. But I like the Totem here.
Yeah, I like the Totem. I think we're playing that passive game. We got the Storm. Okay, we didn't quite get the spell damage totem, but that's fine.
I got the best deals anywhere.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Hopefully, that should be all the. Well, no, he still could prep, but it looks like he's going to be done.
So if he did not prep, I would generally totem for the correct totem to save my Blood Mage, and then if I don't get it, Blood Mage and Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, no, that sounds just good.
No good totem. Bring out Blood Mage. Gadgetzin goes away. If his other Gadgetzin dies, these decks are. It's like the Hunter using both of his Unleashes. There's not a lot of meat left. Even with the Malagos, you can just hex it on the next turn unless you're at near lethal. So this might
Absolutely, and usually it's still probably a few cards away if he doesn't even have it in his hand.
Yeah.
Getting rid of the first one with him only drawing one card from it.
Yeah.
Is super good.
So Leroy.
Okay, he's gonna Blade Flurry then, maybe?
Shadow Step.
Oh, he's okay. He's going with it a little early.
He'll probably Blade Fury after this. No, wait. What will he? Interesting. Interesting. I've never seen this combination before. So
yeah, deckhand. That is interesting.
I'm of the opinion that a Feral and Flame Tongue's important here.
Yeah, I mean we know he's got a cheap Leroy in his hand, so the taunts definitely gonna do us good.
So I'm going to bring out the Flame Tongue, and I'm gonna have. I think I'm gonna trade. Yeah, I'm gonna kill the deckhand, and then I'm gonna have my two other minions go for face. And the idea here is that I'm not racing him, but I want to do a significant amount of damage, and whatever, like a Leroy will die to the Spirit Wolf, so they don't need extra attack.
Absolutely.
That's an interesting play he just made there. I've never seen that play actually before.
I don't think I have either. That is he's trying to squeak in a little extra damage there.
Eviscerate. One down.
He must have two eviscerates then.
Probably.
Well played.
Well played.
Is that it?
I gotta imagine a Blade Fury's coming here. Maybe can't poison.
He can't do
Blade
it. He
Fury.
can't weapon up. He can't weapon up in Blade Flurry.
That was a concede well played.
I think it was.
Well, now if it was, let's see. Let's wait and see what he's gonna do, or she, I should say. Apologies. Apologies.
She's gonna burn the clock, is what she's gonna do.
That would be funny. Let's see. There's gonna be that. What's the thing that does gives it 4 attack with a combo? GG.
Cold blood.
Cold blood. Yeah, that was definitely gonna be a cold blood combo, but the ferals shut it down, and I think we just saw the answers to why we've never seen that Leroy in and then back out of the hand before. It's because it's not a very good idea to telegraph your moves.
Exactly. Yeah, we may not have. We probably wouldn't have. We probably would have draked or played the fire elemental.
I would have probably actually played the ferals there because of my experience with the rogue. I can't say for sure because we were at a lot of health, but certainly I tend to get out some taunt, especially when I can use my flame tongues to hit. So, yeah,
that's definitely a good point. I mean, it's always good to be safe. But that could have been another option. We could have gotten greedy and gone for card draw and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you don't want to give your opponent the obvious play. You want to make it hard for them. You want to make them make the good play, and they didn't make us do that. Wonderful. Well, that was a great show. I'm going to go back to the opening here, and I want to thank you, Tarn, so much for hosting with me. It's always great to have you, and thank you so much for watching, all of you out there, whether you're on YouTube. Down there at the bottom, you can see me on YouTube at CNegrin, whether we're on Twitch with us at Kobayashi Maru, whether you're watching Tarn on his channel at Tarn33, or whether you're just coming and checking us out and then hitting me up on Twitter at Kobayashi Maru. If you're finding us on iHeartU, please leave a comment, tell us what you think. And Tarn, do you have any closing words for anybody out there? Anybody at all?
No, I think that's it. I was out of town again. I had to run out of town. I'm now back. I will be back on streaming as early as tonight, but definitely by tomorrow night if I don't get on tonight. Looking forward to seeing some of you on stream. Right now I'm streaming Hearthstone, streaming Diablo 3. Usually a little bit of 50-50, having fun with the viewers doing both. But otherwise, fun show, and I will see you again next week as long as I don't get fired.
You're good. You're good this week. Thank you all for watching. And anybody mind if I roll need? But the hunter is now 3.
We fucked. We got this live, man. You done?